Arrendor is on the brink of upheaval. For centuries, the clan struggled against giants until 400 years ago, when dragons crossed the Great Sea, forcing them to unite and build the 10 Bastions. As the threat faded, the clans fractured into the 10 kingdoms, and all but the last bastion were abandoned. As ancient calamities stir and darkness rises in the east, my 4 champions must rise up to unite the kingdoms, restore the bastions, uncover their secrets, and stand against this darkness as a declaration of war.
Calagon Dör. I will discover the secrets of my lineage and cement my legacy as one of the greatest adventurers of all time.
Cleave still in here. The migration of the dragons forced the migration of peoples and beasts, which brings death. We're all invasive species now. I won't let us become extinct ones.
The name's Rodrick Elwood, the voice of this generation, and the greatest performer in the world. Oh, and you should see me with a bow.
And I, Arlyn Dursalai, searching for my father's sword, Trident, to bring justice to these lands. Together, we are the 4 Horsemen.
And this is Divine Inspiration.
Hello and welcome back, beautiful people! Almost. I tried pretty hard this time, but hey, it happens. Maybe next time. Well, officially, welcome back. Great to have you guys with us as always. And we are quite excited to get started back yet again for just a beautiful and exciting adventure for today. Now, yeah, I don't think we have any pressing announcements, so I guess I'll just leave it be at that. So, let's gather around, enjoy, and get comfy, get cozy, as we tell stories of legend by Divine Inspiration. Where last we left off, our party had braved their first sandstorm. Lasting over an hour, they stayed within this goblin encampment that they had previously mistakenly blown up, and found themselves watching onward with Arlyn as their scout. As he checked outside their encampment, he was able to see just the passing by of monstrous, titanic shadows overtaking the entirety of his view from floor to sky. As they passed by, a few smaller creatures found their way over towards him and the party, who couldn't help but make a little bit too much noise as they tried to shout over the storm, over the winds, and over the sand as it pelted against the barricade. After beating down on a few creatures, killing one of them, and just hiding out the rest of the way, they decided that they would just sit out the remainder of the storm. Afterwards, they realized that they had lost one of their trusty mounts, the one that they named One. Having gone out to look for their mounts, they found 2 alone, and unfortunately, after a quick search, were able to find the carcass of One, along with a few other dead creatures, some much, much larger than others. Rodrick, being the incredible disguise master that he is, made himself out to be the best dragon fruit in all the land. End quote. As he attempted to pull back another sandwalker that they had found, only to find himself getting a full body tan out in the desert for a time. Making it back to camp, they found themselves with another sandwalker, now named 3, and finally rested up for the evening as they sent Barry out to scout ahead, looking for where they were to go next. And as everyone packs in to rest up, I believe the designated watch for the night is Rodrick. So, as everyone else sits back, Cleave gets to kind of spend time enjoying some time alone, but making the oh, God bless you, the drinking horn out of the exoskeleton, out of the rust monster that you had previously decided on. Arlyn now tempering his sword from the rust monster's chitinous hide, along with its rough blood that seems to have corroded his blade somewhat. And Rodrick, Calagon actually is seemingly focusing on trying to see through the eyes of Barry as he takes off, looking to scout ahead. So, Rodrick, as you sit there counting your coin and going through finally all of the findings from this goblin encampment that you hadn't had the time to count up previously, you find 14 gold, 14 silver, 11 copper, and a bag of gems worth 50 gold pieces.
Ooh. Whoa. Nice.
However, I would like to note that is fair general market value. That is the manufacturer suggested retail price. So you will not necessarily get that same price trying to sell it back unless you yourself were a merchant and able to do so at full price.
It was 14 gold.
14 silver as well, 11 copper, and a bag of gems worth 50 gold.
Wow.
Just mixed type of gems, or is there a specific?
It's just a smattering of very, very small gems that look like they were probably pulled from other jewelry previously.
Gotcha.
But you could tell that these goblins, for whatever reason, or at least Rodrick can, didn't seem to have much care for gold and silver. They just really enjoyed the gems.
Okay, cool.
I like that. I'm going to keep it all for myself.
Nice. As is appropriate at times.
Lovely.
You can kind of sit there just counting it all up, making sure that you've got the right tally. In the distance, as you see Cleave scraping away, you can see that he now has 2 sandwalkers pushed into this encampment, pressed closely up against him, and continually nudging him with their beaks, as though asking him for something. As everybody starts kind of packing away and lying down, is there anything else that you'd like to do while taking this shift?
All of my clothes are back, correct, at this point?
That's a fair one. So yeah, sewing up your stuff will be a small portion of this.
I feel like that'll take probably the majority of the time.
But I'd say that it's fair to note that you've probably done a little bit of that already, being that Cleave gathered like a few scraps already. Some of it was kind of like in the right portions. You just kind of needed to sew certain parts right back together. So it shouldn't be terrible. You're very used to this. So I'd say the better part of an hour.
Okay.
So is everyone in like within earshot right now?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Rodrick.
Yes.
I just want to let you know, earlier when I said that Barry, I was worried that Barry would be possibly eating you. When I just want you to know that it's not lost on me that he's a dragon, and I do enjoy his company and he enjoys mine, but what I meant was, I know I'm raising a dragon, and he could potentially try to kill either of you. And I don't think he'll kill me. I don't think he'll hurt me, but I don't know. I just don't know how to really handle the situation. So,
have you ever considered setting him free?
There's a connection that I just can't explain.
Perhaps he is the one manipulating you. He is a dragon after all, and you're just a quarter of one.
I don't know. Cleave, what do you think?
Listen, fellas, I don't know. I'm talking to the Sandwalkers. I don't know what you want from me. I told you when we get there, we're gonna have the fruits, as many as you can eat. But we have to get there to find the fruits. That's where the fruits are. What was that, Calagon? Sorry.
We're talking about Barry.
And you can't eat him either. Okay, go on.
This is why I asked if everyone was in earshot. We're talking about Barry, and it sounded like I threatened Rodrick earlier, but
You did. It's no that part's not lost on me. You did threaten me.
Barry's a dragon, and
Yes,
he's not gonna hurt me.
No,
see,
I did point that out. I pointed out he was a dragon, and I said he's going to eat somebody, and you said he's gonna eat you.
that's not exactly how it went.
That's how
it
I
was only
remember
an hour or two ago. You should remember the exact words that I don't remember, but it wasn't exactly like that.
It did sound pretty threatening to me as
You
I'm like
said-
hammering on my sword.
You said that he was going to eat me, and then I said that, well, I was worried that he was going to eat you.
Yeah, and I think you're adding that part. I think you're adding the worried part. You said
I'm worried he's going to eat either of you. He's a dragon. That's why we're having this conversation.
Well, hey, as long as we're in the middle of nowhere, able to have one of these conversations for once, and no more listening ears. I turn off Speak with Animals.
Solid.
Okay. We do work for a dragon. I don't know when the next time we'll see him is, or if there's any good way for us to contact him. But maybe we bring this up to him. What do you think?
Well, he must know that I have him, right?
I don't know. I mean, we met Barry just after we met Erendor. I would think if there can be an Erendor in the world, then there can be a future for a good Barry. Good Barry.
Nice. I'm worried. And if we set him free, like you said, what's to say he doesn't grow up and become the dragon that, as you said earlier, takes over the world?
well, then maybe we end his life.
Arlyn, help.
I definitely do see some benefit to raising the dragon on our side. Unfortunately, he seems to be rebelling. That does put some worry on my thoughts.
And it's only been 2 days, and he's already rebelling.
Somewhere under.
Yeah.
How
Well-
fast? Does anybody even know how fast a dragon grows? I've never seen one until we met Barry. Well, I guess Erendor. But does that count? He was like, first he was bipedal, and he had the wings, and then it was odd.
It was interesting. But, yeah, Cleave, you do have an interesting perspective. Maybe we should just try to raise him right, keep him close, and then when we see Erendor, I'm sure we will see him again. We can ask him what to do.
I once met a great wizard who, well, he claimed to be, who said something in the vein of, it is not our powers that define us, but rather our choices, the choices we make. I think
What was his name?
it was like Flubber Floor or something like that. Rumble Roar.
Huh.
But
See
he
it? Never mind.
I reckon there's a lot to be said for what we see in others and people's abilities and people's and creatures, generalities, but you know, my people were kept on the outskirts of town for all of, you know, until it was destroyed, our village. And I don't think we were the savages that we were made out to be. I don't think that Calagon's family was the threat that they were made out to be. And if we could be more than our assumptions, then I have to believe that there's a possibility for Barry.
So you're saying because he's a dragon doesn't mean he will end up having the mentality to take over like the others have? You
Yeah.
think that
Look at him. Yeah, he's so cute.
well, he's gone right now.
No, but I mean, in general, look at him.
You see,
Yeah.
dragons are complicated creatures. They are vastly intelligent. And I don't know.
No, I think
But
you have...
something tells me that most dragons have some sort of ulterior motive.
What do you think? I don't know if I've ever shared my theories with you, but what do you think could have been the ulterior motive that brought all the dragons from wherever in the world they all came from, all here a few hundred years ago?
Death
Why did they all do
and
that?
destruction. I don't think it was ulterior. I think it was pretty straightforward motive.
Well, I think that happened.
But why?
My experience with all species is that when they get pushed out of one land and introduced to another, it's natural that death follows. They don't belong there. It's not their natural. They're not native there. And when an invasive species comes and they start eating food that wasn't originally intended for them, and they start hunting things that originally didn't have any hunters, it shakes up the entire ecosystem there. I think this is just what's happening on a huge scale for us.
Are you trying to say something drove out the dragons from where they originally were, and now they're an invasive species where
Maybe
we
they
are?
just ran out of food.
That's my fear. It could have been that.
You
yeah.
know-
But that's why I ask. What do you think was the real ulterior motive from coming here? Was it simply that they finished their death and destruction elsewhere, or was there something else?
I would assume so.
When it comes to the food chain, there's not much that goes above a dragon.
I'd like to believe that.
Me too. But encountering one myself, I don't know. It does seem like they're intelligent enough to make purposeful choices, not just instinct on fleeing.
Oh, sure. But what did we do to the ecosystems that were on the west coast when all of our peoples were driven from the mainlands? Death and destruction from their perspective.
Yes, but we have dominion over it all.
Well, if that's the case, then it would feel to me less like a flea and more so like revenge
For us?
against us.
Against us.
This got deep, guys. I was just curious what we should do about Barry.
Well,
Maybe you're right.
This to me does feel like a fleet. I'm picking off
If we,
all
if
over
we
my
were like the
clothing since they've
dragons,
been dragged through the
right?
sand.
and something
Look
chased us out of our
identical to the
native
rust
lands,
monster.
then we went elsewhere, and then we chased everything that was there out of there, and they've been some to extinction. A great many. I've followed, just in my lifetime, several species that went extinct in our area. In our region, there's no more, and it's just because we ate them out of house and home. We either ate their prey or they were our prey.
Well, I just have this connection with Barry, and I can't really describe it. So I need you guys' help. You need to
Well-
help make decisions when it comes to my precious.
I think Barry is a good a good indicator that dragons aren't so different from us. Look at how he's been. He relies on someone. He disagrees. He wants to be understood, but he can't.
Everybody's
He doesn't
vulnerable when
speak
they're
to us.
young.
And
But
my-
what about when he becomes bigger, stronger, hungrier than us?
Well, hopefully we find him bigger quantities of food.
well, what if
We can't.
what if-
We don't even have enough dragon foods to give sandwalkers. How are we supposed to feed a dragon?
What
We'll
if
be fine.
Oz can help.
there
maybe.
was a way to contact Arrendor?
I think that'd be a huge help.
That'd be awesome. How do you
Do you have something?
think we can do that?
I've been keeping it from you because I don't understand, but I have had contact with Arrendor. Beautiful. Thank you. I have had contact with Arrendor.
Cleave, get up.
That should be hard.
It's the sandwalkers constantly just beating at him with the heads.
My phone always falls if you couldn't hear it or whatever on the stream.
Since our encounter with Arrendor on the cliff, I have had no more than a few other encounters with him. Some through dreams, and sometimes he just contacts me in my head somehow. I've never tried to contact him myself, but what if I attempted
If you
to?
did,
Do it.
that could change everything for
What-
us.
What do you need?
We've been feeling aimless, I believe.
So you've been having dreams.
Do you not have
I
dreams,
have,
Roger?
yes.
Me?
Do you dream?
You know, I dream of the future. But I don't have... if you're talking about, like, the kind of dreams that you just don't mean anything, kind of pointless, those kinds of dreams, I don't believe in wasting my time like that, Calagon. Every second is valuable on the path to stardom.
I'm so confused. That meant when you sleep.
Right?
Do you have dreams when you sleep?
No, I just close my eyes and then wake up. Continue my journey.
That almost sounds scary.
That is
Well,
insane.
according to the things that I've been seeing, it kind of sounds peaceful, to be honest.
So tell us a little
I
bit
dream
about
of
your
genies.
dreams. You dream of-
Genies.
Usually, I dream of genies.
Huh.
What's a
Interesting.
genie?
Very.
That's a way before any of our times reference.
Yeah, it's I dream of genie. I know.
Well, Arrendor gave me a dream the other night.
Well, how do you know
And
he gave it to you?
It seemed purposeful.
Do tell.
Did I seem odd to you a couple days ago, I guess? Or
Was it the
I don't
day
even
that...
remember how long it's been.
Well, there was about a span of 6 hours that you were sitting in corners and touching
Yeah.
your arm.
That was
odd.
weird, yeah.
Yes.
You were
it was-
utterly useless. I had to stand up and be the captain of the team.
Well, he did kill Flan.
Well, you guys almost killed yourselves, and thank God I came too. Anyways,
Hey, what was that about?
Arrendor contacted me through a dream. It was very strange. It was. Do you remember the power I was able to imbue at the cliff? The lightning.
Yeah.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Yes,
is what I
that.
called it.
Yeah.
Anyways, interesting name for it, but I haven't been able to trigger it since then. Been trying.
Have you tried being
in
mean to
secret.
it? Sorry.
Trigger.
Have you tried raising? icing, compressing, and elevating it? Like the crispy parts of your injured body? Like
Crispy parts?
yeah, like when he's injured in his arm. You want to raise,
Man, please.
isolate. Well, what is it? Right? Yeah, all that. Right? Rice the Krispies.
So listen.
When it's snap, crackling, popping.
He
I
told
have no
me.
idea what's going on.
It's because of the references. Getting out of hand.
You know, maybe I should keep it to myself.
No, I'm
We
super
are all
interested.
ears. Most of us have very strange ears to your kind. We're all ears. Like 40% of our heads is ears.
Cleave. This is a serious matter here. Well, so he told me that the power was not for me.
What?
So he told me that my body just was not ready to imbue that power yet. That I would be in pain. That I couldn't handle it. Not yet, at least. But if I am meant to be the protector in the front line, I told him I think it would be useful to carry a power of such. And so, he gave me the option to wait or to take it and see what happens. I chose to take it. I'm a little bit nervous to try and trigger it. He gave me a lot of warnings about it.
Trigger
But-
warnings.
But
David. Trigger warnings.
that being said, whatever. Like that's between me and Arrendor, and I'll figure it out.
Well, no.
Wait,
I
is
think
this the power to connect to?
Well, no, to imbue that lightning.
Ah.
But that all that to say, that's because you guys asked about my dream. But he has been contacting me. I could very well try to somehow find that connection and contact him.
Maybe we should all touch Arlyn's forehead when he sleeps. The whole time he's sleeping, just.
Last time that happened, Calagon was there to experience the shocking factor. Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't want to do that. No.
I'm not interested in it either.
Maybe we should
so-
try to time whenever Arrendor is sleeping, and we all concentrate, try to get into his dreams.
That's the
I
strangest
think
thing
we
I've
should
ever
leave
heard.
this connection between them and
But
just
anyways,
get the feedback.
in this rest, when after I've had my first rest and after I've had my watch, when somebody else takes watch, I could try and contact him.
Okay. We could use some help.
I don't know how. I don't know if it will even work, to be honest, but I believe it'd be worth a try. We are kind of lost.
Why don't we all try to contact him while we're resting?
Yeah.
See if maybe he doesn't want to talk to Arlyn anymore. Maybe he wants to talk to one of us.
Maybe he can talk to all of us. We just haven't tried.
Yeah, maybe that connection is actually going through all of us.
Maybe.
Did you see
Maybe.
me in your dream?
I did not, no.
Oh.
I'm
Just
sorry.
me.
Just you, Calagon, yes.
Weird.
Very.
So I have a connection with Barry and with you?
Maybe the dream has something to do with how Barry is acting.
This is so much.
Trust me, I know. I don't understand the least of it. But I think we should try and make contact with Arrendor tonight. As we rest. We're already resting. So if we can, and we can ask him what was the original motive of the dragons? What is going on with Barry, our companion? Maybe we'll get some answers.
It's worth a shot. Alright. I'm getting tired. Who's first watch?
I believe Rodrick.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I am just about finished here with my sword. So, I think it's time for us to get some rest.
Okay. I'm just going to try to see if I can see if Barry's anywhere close before I go to sleep.
He's long gone at this
Cool.
point.
Alright, bedtime.
Well,
All right.
who's going to take next after Rodrick?
I will.
All right. I'll take after Calagon.
Cleave, you finish us off.
I zoned out. What?
Will you take last watch?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
No doubt.
Very well. Let's get some rest, fellas.
I'm already asleep.
Rodrick, would you like to stay within the camp?
I sleep so fast.
just falls asleep
sleep
so
so
He's like my father. The man hits the bed. So
It's
a
like,
superpower.
all right,
It's incredible.
rest time.
Yeah.
Some people can do it. I believe in it.
So I'm actually gonna be out here by this rock over here.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna have my drum and just kind of be trying to create a new beat.
Fantastic. All right. As you all hear the low thumbs of the drum, you hear that dum, 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 dum. And as it starts to just kind of drown out any of the surrounding sounds from the desert around you, Arlyn, you start to fade, and hearing this off in the distance, slow, and slowly over time, you start to hear the sounds of thunder. As darkness overtakes you and your sight begins to fade. And suddenly, there are streaks of light within vision. And as you look skyward, you see above you storms all around. And yet, you can see the light piercing through a singular cloud, storm cloud. The light in the shape, the figure of a dragon. And you can see as this figure almost begins to approach you, you see as it starts to almost walk on the clouds, nearer and nearer to you. You see as this light gets brighter and brighter, bigger and bigger. And as it does so, you can see that it's not that it's walking, but rather that it is flying ever so gracefully, that it almost seems like it's floating just above these storm clouds. And distracted by this light for a moment, you realize your form is no different. You look beneath you and you see that below your feet is just storm clouds. And surrounding you on all sides, just lightning and darkness. He says, "You do not need to contact me. I am always with you."
Just me, or all of us?
My communications are limited, but I see and I hear. Your friends are wise the way they speak of man and dragon. They're not
Really?
so far off.
So, was it man that drove the dragons?
Perhaps in part. But I'm afraid that the dragons seem to be seeking out something greater. And with it, whether it be the end or the means, they call for the extinction of mankind.
But where did these ideals begin? Again, I have my own thoughts on dragons, but am I correct, or?
From behind the cloud, you watch as the light grows and then starts to diminish. As this light begins to fade, I suppose I have sheltered you for too long.
Show me. I believe knowledge is key to be able to carry on your tasks, Arlyn.
It is that exact reason why I show you this. But be warned. There is only so much that I can do to hold any power back once it is taken. Power can only be granted in part. Must be nurtured. Must be bolstered. Must be taken. And as he finishes saying this, you see as his light begins to be drowned out by this all-consuming darkness that almost seems to seep in from all around him. And he says, "Remember this. Remember your own words. Remember, Arlyn. Knowledge is power." And you watch as the form of a much larger dragon appears silhouetted behind the storm, the lightning, as it streaks across the sky. You see the figure now just completely thrashed, as the figure of the dragon that you know as Arryn gets essentially just torn down from the sky, and you see as now light and shadow begin to intertwine as two forms of dragons begin just warring within your mind, within this dreamscape, as you can see them flying back and forth overhead and tearing away at each other, and you can just hear loud grunts and just like roars just echoing from well beyond the clouds that you can see currently. And you hear another voice call out in the midst of it all. Finally! Take it! Take what I have given you and do something. And you see as there's a clearing in the clouds for the first time, not above you, but at your feet. Take it and make it useful.
Who are you? You keep showing up. You are not Arryn.
Neither is he. He's a fake. Coward. Pitiful. Much like your people. Disgusting! This power is not for you. This power was meant for him.
And as you look down within this clearing, you can see the small figure of a dragon encircling the ground. And you can see almost like circling its prey like a shark would. This small figure of a dragon seems to be circling a humanoid. And upon closer inspection, it's Calagon.
Quick clarification, which one's Calagon? The humanoid or the dragon?
The humanoid.
The humanoid or the dragon.
Yeah.
So at that
Plot
moment,
twist, they turn full dragon.
I'm gonna look down. Can I still see like the image of Arryn somewhere, or was he chased out?
You see that there's just kind of this brief
The fighting
light
or the light?
vanishing off in the distance, and as you go to look for him, it's almost like your very alertness, just the idea of you aiming to focus on him. You can see his light begin to shine brighter and brighter and get closer, and for a moment it almost seems like the darkness vanishes entirely. And looking up, you hear that voice again behind you.
He will never drown me out.
And as you look back to this voice, you can see now that shadow taking up the entirety of the storm cloud that you're standing on currently.
So I look up at the light and I look at Calagon's body, and I say, well, he won't have to do it alone. And I trigger the lightning.
Okay. You watch as streams of electricity start to pour out from the cloud around you, and almost like chains coming up, they start lashing around your wrists, around your shoulders, and around your waist. And as you look to summon it up, you see that it almost seems to be binding you instead. And pulling about against the lightning, you hear as this voice speaks up again.
Yes. Take it in. And if you cannot wield it, there is another who can.
I will not succumb to you, even with this power. I received it from Arryn, not you.
Calagon. As you hear this thunder bellowing, and the echoed voices and shouts from above. You look to the skies only to see storm. Amidst the darkness, you can see lightning crossing from one end to the outside reaches of the sky, and you hear a voice call down to you. My son.
My son? Who are you talking to?
You bear my namesake. You bear my power.
Who are you? What power? What power?
Look up to see. There is one who has claimed all that I intended for you.
And you watch as the clouds just burst open, and you can see a form standing there. And it's the form of Arlyn, just looking down on you.
Arlyn? And is he wrapped in the lightning right now, or
Not currently,
Just
he's just staring at you.
he took my power?
All that I had intended for you. He had claimed it. Take it back.
Take it. Well, he must have not have known that it was mine. He wouldn't have took it knowing that it was for me. Who is this?
I am the first of your line. I am your source of power. No false claim can be given except the one by this whom you have heard from. And you see the light now appear from behind this storm cloud of a second dragon now. The one who has laid claim as though he had granted you anything. It was in you. It was never his to give.
Wait, no. No, that can't be. Arlyn Dör is the one that gave us these powers.
Who called you? Who sent you there? Who sent the creature down to lure you into the depths? It was me. It was not him.
Who are you?
I am the first.
I don't get it. The first of my kind. Like,
Calagon. I am the first Calagon. I am the one whose name has surpassed generations. The one whose power flows in you. I am the one who has set it all. And I am the one whose path you will continue to follow. I have laid every step. I have set that creature which you seek within the depths of the underworld.
So what's my purpose? What?
Take it back. They have taken your power, and they deserve none of it.
No, this is just a bad dream. This isn't real. This can't be real. I'm just dreaming.
Is it now?
I'm gonna try to yell at Arlyn to try to get his attention. Arlyn! Arlyn!
As you shout, your voice almost echoes in thunder. And looking down from you now, you see as Arlyn looks directly at you, and you hear again in this deepened kind of gruff voice, he says,
He took it from you.
and you watch as Arlyn's arms go out and ignite with electricity.
Like he's gonna fight me?
Hard to say.
Well, I mean, what's his face look like? Is it like
It's
mad?
hard to see from where he's at currently. You can make out his form, but making out any general facial expression currently is going to be a lot tougher.
I'm gonna try
just
to-
flashes of light other than now the light from...
Is Arlyn literally just flying in the sky right
Yeah.
now?
He's standing
Like
on a
with lightning,
storm
just
cloud
like-
with
like-
lightning
Like the
around
scene
him.
from the movie Chronicle. Have you ever seen it?
Oh, you don't know how we love that movie.
That's exactly what I keep envisioning in this moment.
I'm gonna try to go up there. Is like, I'm gonna just try to like close my eyes and try to float up to him.
The whole reason why Michael B. Jordan.
My child! And you watch. Now, as you close your eyes, you kind of feel now this growth coming from behind you.
No.
And you feel this presence almost stretch out, and almost like claws tearing out from your back. You feel as this elongation stretches out, almost pulling from your spine. And as you open your eyes, you take to the skies, and closer, you find yourself flying at rapid speeds, just gaining altitude. And from the corner of your eye, you can see just shadows of these massive outstretched wings wrapping your form and pushing now downward, as with each flap you fly 10, 15, 50, 100 feet
Boy.
higher, as you scale the sky as though it were as simple as walking.
And I'm gonna go right in front of or as close as I can to Arlyn. Now what does his face look like?
It seems as though it's almost overshadowed with darkness, with light just bleeding in from behind him. His entire form seems to now be overtaken with light, and you can tell that there's this darkness almost being breathed out by him, as it seems to be this like shadowy smoke coming down from his face. And you can see where his arms are pulled out, and there's just light now all around him as this electricity is just breathing his entire body.
I'm gonna try to do the same thing and manifest whatever he is.
Whatever he is,
His
as far
power,
as
like I'm gonna try to manifest the same power that he's. I'm gonna try to. He says it's mine, so I'm gonna try to see if I can do the same thing that Arlyn's doing.
And as you kind of put your hands out, you look to one side and you can see now in one hand, it's as though you hadn't noticed even carrying it. The staff is in your hand. He says, "Touch his chest and reclaim that which is yours. Your birthright."
I'm where's Barry in all this?
No, he only cares about Barry.
He was flying around me a minute ago.
As you look around,
Is he cheering me on or what's
he's
going on?
nowhere to be found currently.
This isn't right. This isn't right. And I'm going to just try to shoot a bolt up to the sky wherever this voice is coming from.
Okay. As you kind of like reach your staff up, you hear the voice, and you can tell that it's coming from behind Arlyn. And you see now that this darkness that's been blowing out of his mouth seems to be taken into the clouds, and from it, stretching out for many, many feet behind him, is just the dark form, the silhouetted shadow of a dragon. You gonna try to aim for that? As you reach down now with your staff out, he says, "You're no different than the one I gave that to. My power is not so easily vanquished. There are fragments all over. Reclaim them for yourself, but take that which belongs to you." And as you reach your hand out with your staff, you kind of almost instinctively let out what normally would be flame, but instead it channels as this massive burst of energy as you watch a hole just burst into the cloud. And as it just vanishes, you feel your wings vanish with it. You begin to fall. and you wake up, standing over Arlyn with staff in hand, staff pressed now to the ground beside him.
Do I wake up?
No.
And no one sees
Am
me?
I in
Rodrick is
lightning
currently
state?
outside of the camp, and everyone else is currently asleep. But
How
it
do I
is
look?
the middle
Just
of the day,
Sleep?
and you can see that Arlyn passed out. Almost seems like a pharaoh within his sarcophagus. He's holding his sword out in one hand, and you can see in the other, it seems like he's trying to grab at something.
I'm gonna wake Arlyn
That's
up.
right.
Okay,
I'm gonna try to shake him.
nice.
Arlyn, wake up!
And in a
Calagon.
moment's notice, you go from just being wreathed in electricity and darkness all around, and you hear this voice call out, and it almost, in your dream state, at first sounds like the voice of Arrendor as you hear, Arlyn. And then finally his voice bleeds through and light just overtakes.
Arlyn,
Calagon.
Arlyn, what was your dream? Tell me.
You first.
Were you there? Was that you in the sky? Did you hear him?
Was that you on the ground?
I flew up to you.
I don't remember that part.
You don't remember that? How are we in the same dream, but not the same dream? I had wings. I flew right up to you.
I just remember bolstering the power, and everything went black.
The power, that's supposed to be my power. He told me it was for me.
Who told you it was for you?
I don't know. He said he didn't really say specifically. It's just some evil sounding voice. I don't know. Kind of scared.
He won't tell me who he is either. I only try and listen to Arrendor's voice.
Arrendor, did you
But
did you see him?
I
he in
did.
the,
Yes.
did he
Oh,
help? What did he say?
If we were in the same dream, he was the light.
Oh, I saw some light. I couldn't hear anything. It was just the bad voice. Arlyn, am I bad?
Am I? Do we really know at this point?
He told me to take the power from you. He
Well-
told me to take it. He said you stole it from me, and he was telling me that I needed to take it back. Did you take my
Not
My
intentionally, no. Of course not.
intentionally? What do you mean?
He told me it was yours. After the fact. But
So you've
it
had
wasn't
this?
my choice
Wait,
to
you,
have this.
you've had this power this whole time?
I mean, I can't even trigger it. I don't even understand how to use it.
Is it bad? Has it
I don't know.
so it hasn't affected
It didn't feel bad on the cliff. It definitely feels like darkness now.
you? Feels like darkness now.
But in my dream, it felt like power.
I'm worried. I'm worried I'm part of something a lot bigger than just uniting the bastions.
You see, that same voice told me to take it and embrace it too.
But he said it was meant for me. He told you it was meant for me too.
Correct. He
Why
did
me?
say that if I could not embrace it, to give it to you who can. But do we want to listen to him?
No.
I don't I don't know what to do.
I mean, I want the power, but it just seems wrong. I try to shoot at him. I try to direct some sort of attack towards him, and
I tried to trigger the power and go against him, and it just went black.
we gotta tell the others. Do you think we should? I gotta tell Cleave.
If there is something lurking over us, I think maybe we should.
Well, it's my turn to watch, so I'll just go and grab Rodrick, and maybe we can address this tomorrow.
Well, Arlyn told me you guys are on the right track. When it comes to the dragons and the humans, your opinions are wise.
So they were pushed out from their original, and they didn't want to. They came here because they had to.
He didn't finish his statement before
Okay.
his face decided to show up.
Well, you go back to sleep, and it's my turn to watch. Just try to focus towards Arlyn this time. I'm worried.
I'll try,
And I'm
but
gonna, yeah.
last few dreams, it seems like he's not far from reach every time I'm around Arlyn. He said Arlyn was a coward. I overheard. I don't know what to do with. I don't know.
He didn't say Arlyn was a coward to me, but I don't know. I'm gonna go get Rodrick. You get some sleep, and I'm gonna walk away.
Definitely try.
All right.
Rodrick, you can go ahead and go inside. Your shirt's looking a lot better. That's good.
Well,
I'll keep watch.
I finished my clothes a while ago. Just been here writing music.
Anything good?
I guess that's subjective. What about you?
What about me?
Did you have any of those magical dreams you guys spoke about?
Oh. You know, that's a long story, and I'm really trying to process it. Short answer, yes. But we don't know what it means.
Okay.
I didn't talk to
No,
Arlyn.
sounds good. I'm tired.
Okay.
In pure Rodrick fashion.
I kind of start walking away. And as I'm walking away, I'm kind of like humming to myself and like playing my drum.
His famous groove.
And I'm just like jamming to this like little mini song I wrote, which is "We are survivors sitting alone. We have no horses and we have no home." I just settled down in the same spot where we had originally had like all the cloth rooftop, where the cockroach thing tried to get in,
Right.
and then I just kind of bundle all of it up and then use it as a pillow and just go straight to sleep.
Nice. As you pull it all back, there's this brief reminder that there was, in fact, a human man caged up and imprisoned just beyond that point. That you kind of pull all the tarp down, see that, and so you have to kind of now move a little over. As you tuck in for the night, for the day, really. Just kind of pack in, and unlike these weirdos, you just get to end your night in a bright fashion. You look down, and immediately just kind of surrounded by color. Everywhere you look, within the tarps created by the goblin masses now, or whether it be your own clothing, you just kind of look down, and despite the loneliness and the lack of home, there is just this brief moment of warmth as you just fade. Calagon, however, you're met with a much different sight as you walk out there and kind of tapping him out. You start to kind of look about, and almost immediately, as though to meet with you by destiny itself, you see this small little speck start to grow, and you can see as it now, almost like a dolphin, excitedly like splashing above the waves. You can see as Barry just kind of flaps up and dives down, and flaps up and dives down, and just heading straight for you. And you can see as it's almost like if he could smile, he would be currently.
Okay.
However, I would like for you to make a perception check with Barry.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
Woo.
Let's see what Barry's
Ooh.
got here.
Oh, nice one.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, you have advantage
Oh.
and all sorts of stuff. Okay. Let me double check.
Passive. Oh, so yeah, it'd be 23.
Okay. Well then. So I did the math earlier. And an eagle can fly up to 10,000 feet high. Has keen senses, has the same strength, and the same weight as Barry. Therefore, it is reasonable to assume that Barry would be able to fly at the same height. He has the same perception, and therefore would be able to gather the same amount of information that an eagle would based on sight at that height.
Okay.
An eagle's sight is about 4 times what a human's sight is. And at 10,000 feet, a human can see up to, let's see,
Oh, the math,
123 miles.
Huh.
So at 4 times that amount,
Wow.
yeah, it's
So you
it's
just saw the world?
492
Across
miles.
the earth. No, I'm just
So
kidding.
so Barry can make out up to 492 miles around him
Wow.
with a perfect vision check, which you have just rolled.
Very beautiful.
Wow.
Okay.
The entirety of the space surrounding Gracht is about 200 miles.
Oh, wow. All right. That's
So
far.
with that in mind, now Barry cannot see westward very well, given the fact that the storms have just passed over, within a day. And so you can see that there is kind of this blanketed space, but you can tell now as images start to flood your mind that Barry's excited for a reason. He finally got a good full flight out where he's not getting chased around by goblins and he's not having to deal with storms, and he got out into the open sky, and you can feel the pride in him. And you watch as he lands now in front of you and does a small little hop, and you can see as he's just kind of spinning in circles, hopping about, and just kind of like smiling at you and flooding your mind with images.
Okay.
You can see that. I will add one.
He's like, should we kill this thing?
One minor note, just for the DMs out there. Eagles can see a bunny within brush up to 2 miles away,
That's
which is
crazy.
pretty incredible. However, 10,000 feet high is about 2 miles. So his vision would be clear directly below him, but as you start to expand that out further, the clarity is not going to be there. But again, perfect roll. So with that, he is able to then acknowledge all sorts of things, including a series of different cities off to the
Man.
east, far, far beyond the stretches of what you would normally think is the furthest that this reaches, as there is a mass of water between you and these cities. But you can see now where the land stretches around this mass of water. But just before that, you can see quite clearly where Barry was almost singularly focused, this massive stretch where the sands themselves start to fold in and dive into almost like a waterfall of sand. And you can see that this breach extends for miles, going from the southernmost point of this territory within Gracht all the way up, almost hitting the water within that region. Now, prior to that point is where you can feel the joy welling up in Barry, where you see that he was tracking a series of creatures. Far to the south, there's all sorts of different, mostly goblinoid tribes and different, like, outposts of different sort within the desert. And you can see that had you gone closer that way, it would have been troublesome, but you can see, worse yet, that to the east of them is what at first initially looks like a mountain. And yet, upon closer inspection, Barry decided to go and follow close along this ravine, and was able to see now the general makings of a city, of a fortress of some sort that seems to be made out to look like a mountain, with doorways stretching hundreds of feet high.
Oh, a lot of information there.
That was.
To the north,
Yes, keep going.
within the desert, is a frozen lake.
Okay, so ravine, water, frozen lake, mountain-looking city. South is.
So, yeah, let me
Goblins.
let
It's
me
like
pull this
sinkhole.
up for you guys.
Okay,
So, let me see.
Ooh, we get a map for this.
Yeah, it's been a while, I know.
sweet.
Let's see it.
Thank goodness we got a map
Oh.
for this.
TV is messed up or something. We got refreshed. Here. This one needs. There you go. Oh, yeah.
I
We
might
have
have
a
to
map.
Oh,
refresh that map another time. Let me
We
see.
have a map. Everybody, we have a
Yeah,
map.
let me replace that one. Give me like 20 seconds, guys.
All
right,
We all have it in our
There we go.
personal,
We're set.
We have
Okay.
a map.
So, let me go ahead and, yeah, let me take this. So you can see now where that kind of sand waterfall extends outward. Knowing that you guys are looking for the northernmost point, you guys have now a very, very clear indicator of exactly where that is. And you guys are a little past halfway there currently.
Okay.
So you definitely now know that within a day's travel, you could make it there if you book it.
Okay. And he's in that ravine waterfall thing. Right?
Now,
That's where we're looking for him.
That's where you're looking for him, yeah.
Okay.
Down here is where you can see the giant mountain territory. And scattered all throughout this region are all sorts of goblinoid outposts.
Okay.
The lake is just above you guys, the frozen lake up here. And this is where you can see now the masses of actual proper cities, as you can tell, are within Gracht proper, where the orcs live.
And the mountain-looking city with doors is.
That was down here.
Okay. Okay. Well, even though he is coming back all happy and stuff, obviously I just went through a traumatic dream. So I'm going to be like, I'm going to get hit with all this and be like, good job, Barry. Good job. I'm really proud of you. I guess we're gonna leave nightfall. It'll be one last trip. I appreciate it. And then that's it.
He kind of like, almost like starts wagging his tail and like excitedly bouncing up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that he primarily bases things on emotion. And with the link that you have, you can see that his head kind of cocks sideways in curiosity. As you can tell now that he's starting to feel like a little defeated despite his recent triumph.
Yeah. Oh, bud. It's a long story. Do you want to maybe work on some little fun, some spells or something?
And he just kind of like nods excitedly and starts to fly overhead again, looking to kind of challenge you.
Okay. So what... Is there a way that I could playfully, like, I don't know.
Magic
Like,
missile.
No, yeah, like playfully, like play with him, like get him better at like combat a little
Absolutely,
bit.
yeah.
how
And you
would-
have prestidigitation, right?
Yeah.
So you can like fake blasts at him and stuff like that, and so like play fighting and whatnot is a very easy thing for you, where you can just kind of send sparks his way and do all sorts of
Okay.
little things, give brief guidance, and kind of map things out in the air almost.
But what is he gonna attack me with? His force breath.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So he primarily attacks whatever images you conjure.
Okay.
So he
So it's
tries
gonna
not
be
to
me
aim
versus him.
for
Okay,
you.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So then we're just gonna do that. We'll do like the little Jedi ball. and
Nice.
begin Shooting things.
There you
out.
go. There you go. All right. And as you do so, make for me a quick perception check yourself. As I admittedly just completely forgot for Rodrick.
So
Why
far
make it
today,
good?
I've rolled a nat 1, 2 20s, and I just rolled a nat 1 again.
Wow.
What's that?
Yeah, I was gonna say last session
just
it was
flipping a
like
coin.
straight nat ones,
He's not
Wow,
even-
yeah, literally.
and now it's a fun little
So,
twist up. Okay.
Perception, I don't think it matters, but yeah, no, it's a nat 1.
Fantastic. All right.
There it is.
Well, luckily you noticed
Calagon's
nothing.
new die. That's all you need. Don't even worry about it. You're good.
Enjoy.
1 or 20.
Okay.
Heads
Cool.
is 20, tails is 1.
Head's the dragon too.
All right. Well, luckily, most of your we'll say shift passes without any trace of life, with minor exception to which Barry immediately flies up, and you can watch now where, at first you see that there's like this this chase going off in the distance, and as he starts looking around, you can see where Barry starts flying a little further overhead. And as he gets further out, there are 3 things that seem to be of note within, we'll say, further reach. And he can see first and foremost a pack of wild wargs, a few miles out.
Okay.
A little bit closer is actually going to be this a chase with a creature you probably wouldn't recognize trying to eat a rabbit of some sort.
Okay.
And then further off, you can see a humanoid creature singularly trekking through the desert.
That's weird.
Mm.
Okay, that's weird. What should I do about that? How far away is he, you said?
He's the furthest out. He's miles out.
Okay. Well, then,
Barry.
if it's the end of my watch, who am I waking up next? Is it you, Cleave?
Yeah, I think it was Cleave last.
I'm last.
So it's me.
Last. So then you're up next. Okay. So I'm gonna go over to Arlyn and wake him up. How was your next dream? Did you
Nothing.
Any contact? Nothing. Okay. Well, there are some things out there. I think you should know that there's a couple things, feeding during the day, but there's a humanoid type. Seems pretty far away, but just by himself. Just alone in the desert. So, Barry was the one that was able to help me see him.
Could it be
I don't-
Jean?
Could it be who?
Jean Canito.
I don't know. I guess I do have a lot more information on where we're going and what's around us.
Really?
Because Barry came back. Yeah.
Huh.
So when we all are ready to travel, I can go through all that with you. But would that humanoid figure be coming from that creek or like the ravine thing that you're talking about, or no?
Not that you could tell.
Okay. I couldn't tell if it was coming from the area we're supposed to find them. So
This is
maybe
far to the south, so it is pretty far from where you guys are aiming to look.
No, it's not. It's far from where we're at least told he's supposed to be.
Okay.
But I just want to let you know I don't think we should get up and leave. But if he gets close, at least you know what to look for.
Okay. Perfect.
All right.
Perfect. So I'll take watch, and you get some rest.
Okay. I lay down.
Cool.
Perfect.
Alrighty. Is there anything during this time that you would like to do specifically?
Probably fine-tune the patches on my blade.
Okay.
He's gonna pray to the creator
Okay.
that his mother worshipped. Even though he's never made contact with him, that's just family beliefs. And he says, Creator, I ask for guidance. I feel like I'm stuck between two major forces and some big decisions. I want to be the protector that they see me to be. I definitely don't feel that way yet, but if this power is meant for bad, I would need your help to turn that around. If you would like to contact me, now would be a great time. He just kind of sits in silence for a moment,
Okay.
waiting.
So you just kind of sit there. You're familiar with meditation, you're familiar with prayer, and you just kind of take in your surroundings and start to focus now on your kind of inner self as you start to drown out the rest, and now sending that focus instead towards God. Everything else completely drowns out for a moment. And for the first time while conscious, you hear the voice call back to you that just says, "Ah, a wise decision. We all come from somewhere, but I'm afraid it is only I whom speaking to you. I wish I could be of more help, but I can tell you much in terms of the questions you have, Arlyn. Speak to me. I will respond."
I didn't think that would work.
It is not the one you'd hoped for, Arlyn. But alas,
Wait.
we all get our power from someone.
Is this Arendor?
It is.
Arendor. Wow. No, it's not who I hoped for, but
Understand
could be second best,
this.
I suppose.
Your calls never go unanswered. But life is not such a simple thing that you should have every prayer answered directly. Instead, you are given opportunities. Just as I was granted the power that I have granted you the power that I have.
And what power is that? I mean, this other being that keeps contacting me, he says the power is from him. And to be fair, although it seemed like you imbued us with power, aside from what I've been able to channel because of, I suppose, this mistake, I've done nothing but swing my sword, which I could do beforehand. So I guess I don't understand exactly what power did you give me. I see it in Calagon. I see it in Cleave. Rodrick, still questioning. But, well, actually,
You're lucky I'm blinking.
wait. I did see it. in the shadows. Whatever that was over in the cavern. But as for me, you see, I thought it was the lightning. Seems that it wasn't? I'm so confused.
It makes sense that you would question such things when clouded by such a being as this. I will not deny he is powerful.
Who is he? Can I get a name?
From what I have surmised, given recent communications, his name is Calagon.
Okay, this gets a lot more interesting.
Complicated.
Yes, that's a better word.
But yes, interesting. I have a link directly to each of you four. And therefore you have a link between you four.
Okay.
Calagon uniquely, unfortunately, bears a separate link. However, it is this exact reason I have chosen the four of you. Each of you is unique. Each different, yet similar. You bear something hidden deep within you. My power only allows for you to awaken it. Something that can be claimed by any manner of abilities. In certain ways, I suppose you could say, I'm simply bolstering that which you are. In time, you will become greater. Hence, the reason I ask you to call upon knowledge itself. The more you find out about power itself, the more you find out about yourself, the deeper this power will set itself in.
But how do I seek this knowledge? It doesn't seem like, common knowledge here. I can't walk into a library and gain some information on this. At least not seemingly.
Perhaps in part. But if you noticed, there were 10 different figures in the archways, in the place we met. Each of them showed a building behind them, and each of them showed a weapon. All swords initially, but I doubt that these are the final forms. If I had to guess, it was simple imagery depicting these 10 bastions and their guardians. Given the fact that I chose you of my own volition, and yet both my image and yours were etched in that same hall, I can only imagine that we will find more within those bastions of man. They've been hiding countless secrets. And just as others have been trying to force your footsteps, I've been hoping to open up new paths. This journey that you're on currently, it can certainly lead to great success, but I would warn you, the people that you grow closer to with each day here, the people that you move towards, these monstrous peoples, they are not to be taken without all seriousness.
Are you talking about Gracht?
I am.
Okay.
They do not look kindly on your people.
My people? You mean people that are not orcs, or my people in particular?
Any that are not orcs.
Okay.
However, you seem to draw particular interest.
Really? Could it be my blue skin? I don't...
Perhaps in part.
But unfortunately, the torment that I hear now within your mind, I hear within my own. As the echoes of the dragon of past continues to beat at me day after day, reminding me that unfortunately, I do not have the answers that you seek.
So, we are meant to find the answers together.
That is my hope.
Okay.
I am still resting, and my form is not back in its entirety. But in time, I will rejoin you. For the time being, continue to grow in knowledge and help, as we seem to be running lower on time. The dragon's call, it is what woke your friend. It is the one thing that I would wish that he wouldn't experience firsthand, but I hear them clearly. They're calling us to that Crescent Isle, the place you call the Everwilds. They're calling further and further, more and more. And there are very few of my kind that reside still within these parts. But I can assure you, we are not few in number, only gathered at a singular point.
I suppose we better get a move on.
Good luck.
So, are you still there?
Nothing.
Arrendor. I wonder... He said that the link between me and him... I have the same link with the others. Can I contact them the way he contacts me? That would be very weird. Very strange. I suppose it'd be worth a try. Let me contact Calagon. He seems to know roughly the same information as I do right now. And I...
Joel.
Not me.
That was David.
And he sees as I guess Arrendor sees. I see myself as I go back into that meditative state that I was in.
Okay.
But this time, I'm trying to contact Calagon. This Calagon. This Calagon. And I go real silent. And I'm just trying to picture Calagon in an empty room of darkness. I just say, Calagon, can you hear me?
Make an Arcana check for me.
Woo! First roll, right? No, I'm just kidding. First roll for me. Let's see.
David's rolling this whole time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. Right, she still is. 12.
Okay.
It's very mediocre, but...
You sit there focused for a time, and by the time you come to, you realize that not only have you not contacted him, but you seem to have kept your eyes closed throughout the entirety of not only your
being
shift,
on watch.
Oh, no.
but a second shift.
Oh, no. Wait, even Cleave's shift?
Yep.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna get so much sleep.
You've been complaining this whole time about lack of sleep. And
Laid out,
you're really rested
using
now.
a sandwalker's face as your pillow. Just kind of come to, some drool just kind of dripped out from your tusk. from below you. You just kind of wake up, and you can feel now at the top of your head that your hair is just kind of slicked up and almost like a mohawk.
Nice.
Just kind of flattened from being pressed against that creature. You look around,
I'm like,
and everyone is asleep around you. Except for Arlyn, who you can see now kind of like looking about wide-eyed from just outside the gate.
is it my turn? I'm sorry. Did you try to wake me?
I'm so sorry. It's morning. I lost track of time.
It's technically night. It's
night.
Well,
end of the
is it night?
shift, but yeah.
End of my shift. Is it end of his shift too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose I'll just do my morning meditations and prayers then. It's your turn.
Yes.
We move at night.
I believe it's time to awake the others.
Still my morning routine.
I'm looking around,
The nocturnal
not
four.
noticing, right, and not realizing that I took my entire shift and his in meditation with my eyes closed. I'm a little bit nervous, and I'm looking around, making sure everything is exactly the way it was left.
Go ahead and make a quick perception check.
Okay.
12.
Forget my perception is 0, like most things. 19.
19. Wow. Okay.
I rolled a 19 though.
As you start to kind of dart your eyes about, you see, for whatever reason,
Oh no.
Rodrick rises as though he were awake for the last 8 hours. And his hair looks perfect. And you can see as he sits up,
Of course.
his hair flows just ever so perfectly in a way that is honestly shocking. Given the talk, you see it in this moment where you're like, wow, that is very impressive. And the elvish genes definitely shining through in that moment.
Yes.
Otherwise, the only thing of note currently is Barry, who's currently kind of laid up on Calagon's chest and staring intently into his eyes as though Calagon were awake. And you see as Calagon starts to stir and starts to wake, Barry just kind of now nestles his head down into Calagon's chest. And we're going to take a quick break.
Oh, man.
So much going on right now.
That was so much lore in the
Right.
last hour and a half.
Gosh.
That was so much
What am I
lore.
gonna do? What am I
That's a
gonna
lot,
do?
bro.
I'm just vibing.
You said Rodrick. You said Rodrick was
Fine.
gonna get eaten by Barry. I think you're gonna be first.
I don't
He's
know if
looking
I'm gonna
at
be
his
first.
meal right now.
I might be eating you guys by the end of the session. The way this is
Seems
going, this is
like it.
crazy.
I really thought you were gonna just try and
Tristan,
reclaim that
you
power
have
immediately. I was
no
like, okay.
idea how much I wanted to do that.
That was
That's
one
going
in-
to be something
You should have done it.
Calagon struggles with.
what?
Well, I hid the fact that I actually knew his name from you guys. You asked
Yes,
if I knew
yes,
his name,
yes,
and I
that's
was
right.
like, no. So, because I'm freaked out right now.
Yeah, of course.
So
Yeah, the
We'll
other
see.
two don't have any link. They don't have any clue. They don't know what's up. But
So
Arlyn
we'll
specifically.
see. Is
Yep.
Calagon gonna be bad, or is he gonna fight against it?
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on here. That was the deepest rest we've had.
Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's fantastic.
Information.
Yeah, that was the deepest rest we've had.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, you guys.
All right. Well, with that, we'll be right back. See
All
you guys
right.
soon.
See you soon.
Hey guys, welcome on back. Now, as I was just kind of noting throughout the intermission there, our characters, last we left off, were experiencing some interesting interwoven dreams for a time. After Barry had scoped out the area, he came back to a uniquely shaken Calagon, who along with his buddy Arlyn had experienced dreams that seemed to affect one another in some way. Now, Calagon seems to be faced with a choice, as does Arlyn, a choice of power. who does it belong to, and who will it end up with? Now, within this dream sequence, it seems that Arlyn was given the choice to hand it off, seeing technically two figures other than himself that he could pass this power on to, while Calagon was told specifically to take it for himself. With that, now finding ways of reaching back out to the one that they call Arrendor, the dragon who had granted them their power, Arlyn seems to be gaining power through his knowledge and slowly understanding the inner workings of what he's been given. And with that, we pick back up where everybody starts to come to. Arlyn now staring down Calagon, who, as you start to stir, the darkness of your dreamscape just kind of fades from nothingness into a quick, small excerpt where you hear, "They cannot stop us, my son. Take it, please, and you will become more like me. More like who you are intended to be. The young dragon knows nothing of who you are. I can teach you." And as you wake, you just kind of feel rubbing down into the center of your chest, just Barry. Just kind of surprisingly warm, despite being a presumably cold-blooded creature. Just kind of starts purring. And
Good morning, Barry.
I'm just gazing from afar, observing.
What are you looking at? Was I drooling?
No. Not technically.
Not technically.
We'll talk a little bit later.
Yeah, I think we all need to have a conversation. It was a crazy night.
It definitely was.
I can't shake the feeling that I'm interrupting something.
Interrupting.
You know, seems like something happened to you guys while I was sleeping.
Well,
How about we pick up camp, we head our way on to Grokt, and we'll tell you all about it on the way.
It's a good idea.
I do have to say, I did contact Arrendor.
And it worked.
It did.
What do you say?
And thank you for Calagon, and thank you for my new traveling buddies, and thank you for the Sandwalkers, and for Barry. So be it. And then
wow, went
get
literal.
back up.
Oh, Cleave, nice of you to join us.
I didn't realize we were on our way. We are going to have to move very double time today.
Yes, we are. I was telling the others that I did accomplish contact with Arrendor.
And he said, "What about Barry?"
Didn't really say much about Barry, to be honest. But he did say...
That was the whole reason we wanted to contact him in the first place. What did we do with the dragon?
Listen, there are other more important things at play here.
That's literally all that's been on my mind. We're being followed by a dragon.
Rodrick,
and he's being
please, listen.
weird.
Barry's not going anywhere.
We'll give you the
but you didn't have
details
any-
on the way to Grokt, but one of the things that Arrendor did tell me was to be weary of the people in Grokt. They are not hospitable, we can say. Especially to people like us.
But one of us is an orc.
Oh, so,
Portion.
we're orcs by association, huh?
To be honest, I don't even know how well I'll be received.
Correct, but you definitely will have the closest chance.
I will take
Yes.
that lead. If
I probably could have even closer of a chance. If you know what
you
I
probably
mean.
could. He's our mouthpiece, and he can take on the appearances of his choice.
I can look like an
Doesn't
orc.
seem like oh, actually,
I can look like one.
actually.
I haven't seen one. I'd have to
But
see
do we
one
really
first.
want to start our?
I've seen some dead ones.
Do we really want
Oh!
to?
Yes.
Do we want to start
Are
our
is the skin usually
relationship
that pale?
with Grokt
With a
on
lie.
deceit?
We've started every relationship so far on deceit.
That's a good point. Good point.
And not many have gone to our liking.
From
Well,
what I've
that's still
seen is we
alive.
might not even have to really get into Grok to get to where we're going. So
Wait, what do you mean?
it's right below, and it's not in the city. We're trying to find. We're trying to find Gene Canito, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Yes.
he's in the ravine.
That we are.
He's in the ravine just southwest of Grokt. So we might
Okay.
not have to deal with too many.
Huh. Well, that is very true. I don't really know how far we are from there though. So I definitely think we need to get started on our journey.
It's
By
about
the
a
way-
day's journey.
Before we get going, and I don't want you to feel so disarmed as you may be with. I noticed your sword was rusted. Is that a long sword you have?
It is actually.
I have
yes.
3 others, if you care for one. That we looted off the orcs back in the town.
I think that was his daddy's.
You don't have to throw it away, but just for now.
Sure. I'll carry it along. Yes.
I'll just open up my
carry it
back and start like untying where they were all sort of bundled together, pull one out.
Thank you, Cleave. Very thoughtful. And I put it in the hilt. Actually, I would only have one hilt, so I guess part of like my belt pack, I would probably
Right,
like
yeah.
makeshift some sort of like leather hilt to like.
Also, it can vary because, like, there are normal like sheaths that would carry like the sword itself and is usually shaped to it, but there are also like I think they're called frogs officially, which are just like loops that allow you to just kind of slide whatever in there.
Yeah.
So you could honestly reasonably probably carry 2 of them within that kind of
Okay, cool.
space.
So I'll do that.
You're welcome to find a piece of leather for me. I have the string. I can sew it up for you.
Well, I look around. Do I see much leather here? I suppose we have leather.
No, we ran out. You see me just
He is covered in leather. Full outfit. Well, that's not much help to me right now, is it, Rodrick? So,
Actually, most of my weapons are probably tied to the saddlebags. That'll be better. Like to the saddles of the sandwalkers. That'd make more sense. The
Perfect.
spare ones, all the.
perfect. Well, let's get them ready and let's go on our way. Don't want to waste any more time.
Yeah, we should. Right, quick. So, like, if I could just ritual over the next 5 minutes while we're all packing up, my speak with animal situation. Do you fellas drink water?
Yes.
Ah, that simplifies this a bunch. By the way, is there a bunch of water in this camp already, or no?
No.
No. Then I would like to now, having changed my rituals or my my abilities for the day. I would like to create water. I would like to make 10 gallons, which I can then shape and change colors.
Oh,
you can create it too.
I can create it now.
True
This
water
guy.
bending. Actually, this is no longer water bending. This is the next level.
This is the whole thing.
He's like
So I'd like to create water, and then I would like to start to change some of the color of it into like a red kind of color. And I know they already want to drink water, but just to make it even more appealing to them, I would ask for my buddies to make it smell and then taste like berry juice. And then I would just start like
Okay.
goes into their mouths.
Berry juice or dragon fruit juice?
Berry giant food juice.
Okay.
Fantastic. All right. Yeah, simple enough.
Yeah,
They
that's fine.
are-
Fill them
I
up.
should have never
Hype.
named him Barry.
Alright.
These dudes are so excited. It's the first time that despite hunger, you can tell that they're actually satisfied. It's clearly not a matter of hunger for them. it's just like there's some primal desire for whatever that is that just gets them going, and they're like, yes,
All right.
finally.
Oh, they seem happy. Good job.
Awesome.
Well,
Good job.
There will be much more where that comes from, but we have to get there very fast. We're gonna work very hard for the next day or two.
I say we leave immediately.
We're gonna leave immediately.
I start walking towards the Sandwalker, and you just hear from all the leather rubbing on each other.
This
Rodrick.
guy. We gotta rub it in.
Also, henceforth, just to upgrade my communion with nature, whenever I speak with animals, I will be doing it in Druidic, so they won't understand me anymore. It'll be just me and the animals.
Wow, very cool.
Wait, so you're gonna speak in Druidic?
Strange, but all right.
I forgot that I had that,
Pretty dope.
but now I have everything on paper and I can see everything in one place.
What does it sound like?
Paper's the best. I'm a true druid. Look at that wood.
That's right. Kill it.
The clip is metal, but
Alrighty.
He's right.
As you guys head on over towards your mounts, which of you is going to be with which one currently?
I will ride.
I'm riding with Cleave.
I believe.
Oh yeah, you guys were originally on.
Yes.
Wait.
We're on 2.
One died.
One died.
One died.
Yeah,
You guys
we-
were on 1.
we were on
So that was
2.
the one that we had.
So
had
you guys are riding 3.
So now we're on 3. All right,
I
that's
also
fine.
think that 3 and me.
Didn't
Kinda
get
gotta-
along very well. No.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he's. I don't know if
That's
he's
true.
over that whole situation yet.
Hey, Cleave.
Fantastic.
Last night while you were on watch, did you see a person at all come by?
On what? Well, I don't want to say I slept through my watch, but
What? Arlyn
why I slept through
would
my
have
watch?
woke you up. How'd
What?
you sleep through it?
He was just feeling very generous, I suppose. He chose to stay up through his entire watch and just let me sleep. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know
I'm
why he
just
did that.
getting my mount ready and saying, Rodrick, come on. And I get on the Sandwalker, and that's it. I didn't hear your conversation.
Arlyn! Come
What are
here.
you guys waiting for? Let's go.
Let's get on.
Get on. We'll get up next
Yeah.
to you.
You see that
Alright.
immediately Barry starts like grabbing at your pant leg with his teeth and like pressing all 4 of his arms and legs against the Sandwalker as though to pull you off. And you can now feel very clearly after building your relationship back up what Barry's feeling is jealousy.
Buddy, no, come on. Come on. Take out on my shoulder. We're going to take these into the desert. I'm not going to walk the whole way.
He starts trying his best, but you can see as he's like suffering to put all of his might into trying to just grab at all of the cloth he can muster and just flap as fast as possible.
Are you trying to carry me?
And you can feel the tenacity, like emotionally. You can understand the determination at a level that no other person could, as you can now feel like the excitement and disappointment both welling up inside of him. As you can tell, Barry wants nothing to do with you riding this Sandwalker.
Buddy. Oh, I mean, at least we have something to work towards. You can, one day you'll be able to pick me up and take me wherever you want to take me. But right now we got to get on these Sandwalkers and start heading towards Grok.
Wait, is that what he's
Persuasion
trying to do? He's trying to pick you up.
Yes, he is. You said persuasion?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not really
Probably
fair.
not great.
I want to
Barry.
fly.
12.
Well, okay.
Barry, you are far too small.
He's very clearly disappointed. But at some point, like, all of his flapping just kind of stops, and you can feel the dead weight as, like, the entirety of his body just still holding onto the cloth of, like, your robe, and just kind of holding tight, and
Just going to pick him up, put him on my shoulder.
he's slumped. Arms and legs doing nothing. You just feel
My
dragon belly on your
goodness.
shoulder. It's just dead weight.
Okay.
And as you do so, you feel as speed starts picking up, as Cleave now obviously is kind of pulling 3 off into the desert and starting back. Those of you who are driving currently, go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Who's driving?
Whoever's-
You driving?
I'm always driving. Oops, that didn't work.
And you guys can absolutely swap. By all means, if you prefer.
12.
Absolutely swap. 12. Okay. Barry, 12. 12. Okay. Barry, 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12. 12.
Well, it's pointless now.
It would have been bad the other way.
It's 8 for me.
That's 3 on a nat 1.
I changed my dice too, man. I don't know what to do.
Let's see what would have happened if
That was
I
my
was
first
driving.
roll of the day.
Oh, wait. This is not my d20.
That's a d20.
Haha! This is my d20.
Oh, no, you're right.
They look exactly the same.
Wow, yeah,
It wasn't
that was a
AD20 at all?
That was a
That's a
d12,
12.
yeah. It's really ornate. It's hard to
1.
tell.
5.
All right, well, we at least passed the easy check.
These guys.
And I've been driving
don't
around
lie.
16, by the way.
Okay.
Wheel.
Alright,
Yikes.
you guys have a pretty simple method currently of bypassing any animal handling checks, despite the fact that these creatures are clearly not trained up properly.
Yeah.
But having spoken to them and luring them with the scent and tastes of the fruit that they so desire, you guys are able to get them to beeline it directly where you want. And now, with a clear path of where that is, you guys continue onward and just truck it throughout the desert.
By the way, I fill a bunch of every single water skin that I could find throughout the whole camp with all the water I was floating around.
Why
I
even
want us
fill
to have
it?
a bunch of sorry.
Why even fill it when you can make it?
Well, I run out. I can do
You
that
run
one
out
more
of
time.
water?
Well, it's like when you run out of the disguises.
Me? I don't run out of disguises.
Ah. Well, we some of us run out of things. Like how I can usually only make some, up to 20 good berries. Now I only can make 10 today because I made the water.
Why is that? Oh, because you made the water.
Yeah. So I can make the good berries once now
Oh, that's not a good trade-off. We can find the water anyway.
in the desert.
I'm gonna, as we're going, I'm gonna kind of be like annoying behind Arlyn, kind of like Donkey following Shrek. I'm gonna say, Arlyn, who I haven't talked to in a long time are my fans. I feel like I haven't seen them, or they haven't tried to communicate with me. Have you seen them by any chance in my shadows?
No.
No fans here. Nope.
Oh,
Rodrick, please. Can you can you keep it down, please?
I think now would be a good time to talk about last night's events.
Did something happen
You
while
see the
You were keeping
flush, look on Arlen's face.
Arlyn, would you like to start the conversation?
I suppose, yes. So I made contact with Aaron. Let me be clear. Calagon Dör made contact with me in a dream.
Well then.
did he designate you as the leader,
I don't know.
or did we do? I'm just trying to figure
You
out.
did.
That's fine, but why does he not contact me?
I thought he gave us all a roll.
Well,
He
I was
said-
there at the dream as well.
You were.
Wait,
It
you
was-
were in his dream?
So
It
mine
was-
wasn't just a dream either.
What was yours?
I didn't see you.
It was
had a
it was of
dream?
Calagon when he was young.
No, this.
Did you have dreams of each other?
What was your dream?
I dreamed that when we were a boy, it's like I was out of place. Long before I ever met you, I was there on Dör Farms. But you had a different name then. You weren't called Calagon. You were called Theo. And at that time, there was a harvest festival that everybody was decorating for, and you were helping a neighboring farm. And they had to put all sorts of different vegetation that they grew on their farm all over their house for the decorations. And the judges were coming, and everyone was getting nervous because they forgot something. We're like, wait, where did the cauliflowers go? And there was all these cauliflowers on the ground or on the table. And I knew, I could see it because I'd seen the plans that you were supposed to put it on a wreath on the front door. And I was trying to tell you, I was screaming out to you, but I
Cleave,
wasn't sure you could hear me.
I think this is a
and
very...
I said, cauliflower. Cauliflower goes on the door. Cauliflower goes on the door. And then his eyes went all white, and it's like I controlled him. And then he went to the door
Cauliflower.
desperately, and he said, cauliflower go on the door. Cauliflower goes on the door. Cauliflower go on the door.
Calagon Dör.
Cauliflower go on the door. Calagon Dör. Calagon Dör.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
Just roll that one right in there, Joel.
I knew exactly where that was going.
Did you all see visions of Calagon too?
Not like that, no.
No cauliflower in our dreams. Wow. Wow, Cleave.
You were
Wow.
once called Theodore.
Wow. Theodore?
It's true. You just don't remember.
Theodore?
That was your name.
I was never a Theodore.
So mine was just a dream, but you guys got over it once.
Oh my goodness.
Dreams.
Well,
Tell me about yours, I guess.
That was a crackhead's dream. even Sparks was like, what was that?
Oh no.
wow. Do you have dreams like that often, Cleave?
I thought it was different because I was trying to contact Arrendor. I don't know. I thought it was normal. I thought it was getting a revelation. I thought I was learning about your past.
No, that's never happened.
You never called being called Theo.
Oh no.
Door.
Never heard of a Theo in my life.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, mine was a bust. Anybody else try to reach Arrendor?
So, as we were
My
saying,
head hurts from that. Honestly, please. My head hurts now.
this is not a joking matter. It's a serious dream with dire consequences.
Mine was.
Actually, yes, he is correct. It was quite a serious dream, yes. Anyways, so I woke up floating in the middle of a storm. Strangest thing ever. Felt pretty cool to fly.
You weren't flying, you were standing on a cloud.
This is absolutely.
I
was-
know because I was below you, looking up.
Well, it felt like I was. Have you ever stood on a cloud before?
The only flying that I saw in that dream was me,
You flew.
towards you.
When?
I grew wings and flew up towards you. This was after the voice was talking to
You
me.
did not mention that last night.
Why does everyone get to fly?
You got to fly at the mountain.
I've flown in my life.
Guys,
you
this
flown?
is serious. This is
Okay.
serious.
Anyways,
Apparently he didn't do anything.
listen. Arrendor contacted me. I asked him, "What's going on with the dragons? Why, or what should we do with Barry?" And he completely disregarded the Barry question. But he did.
That was the
but-
whole point.
Listen, he told us, you guys may be right about the reason why the dragons are coming. A conflict against the humans. Don't really know much more information. When I asked for more information, another voice came. Another voice interrupted as this fight between dark and light happened over my head. And then the voice of the darkness called to me saying the power I have is not mine. And he showed me below where I saw a dragon circling around the body of Calagon.
I heard that same voice.
So I tried to fight against this other voice. I tried to spark that power. He said he gave it to me and it wasn't meant to be mine. He said it was not from Arrendor. I'm very confused.
It's my
Anyways,
power. He
when
told me it was my power, and he told me to go take it from you. That's when I grew wings. That's when I flew up to you.
To take it.
No.
Would
no,
you have got to
no,
keep your
not
wings
to,
if you...
Not to take it. I wanted to see your face. I wanted to talk to you, and you weren't really there. But he kept asking me, he kept telling me to take it.
Well, before that happened, and I tried to fight that voice, I was able to channel the lightning again. And when I did, it just went dark. And then I suppose Calagon grew wings and flew towards me.
Well,
I
seems like
don't
maybe
remember any of that, but
blew a breaker. Sorry.
Thanks.
No, when you sparked up.
Rodrick, this is a serious matter.
Bottom line
I
is,
guess you can take it from here, Calagon, because I don't.
there's not much more to it. I flew up to you, and he kept telling me to take the power, take it from him. It's yours. You deserve it, son. And
Son?
I just...
Your father reached out to you too.
So everybody
I
gets
know
a
him
fly,
too.
and everybody gets a father.
Except me. Except me.
Yikes!
You met your father.
I watched him die.
I wish I could watch mine die.
Oh my gosh. He's not
Better
my...
to have loved and lost. Yikes. This is like the weirdest Red Bull commercial I've ever seen. Fathers give you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
Literally. Oh man. Well,
Yikes.
He's not my father.
okay.
He might have called me his son, but he's not my father. I don't know who this is. He's just some voice, some bad person trying to take our
Can we trust
know.
him?
What did you see when you came to look at me?
You were standing there. You had lightning coming, like binding you, and your face. It was blurry. I couldn't see your face.
So the
And-
lightning is like your chains. Maybe that. I don't know. We both have our fathers. Sorry, go on. Who was he?
I don't know. I don't know.
If not your father, why would he call you son? Maybe you bear a resemblance to his son?
What was his name?
See, he didn't tell me his name, and neither did Arryn. I tried.
Do you know it? Did he tell you?
Was he purple?
His name is Calagon. His name is Calagon. He says he's my father. He says he's the first of my kind. He's trying to give me a power that I don't know if I want. You heard him.
He's
You
you
felt
from
his
the
presence.
future.
It's not...
You look like your own future son, but he doesn't know that he's time traveled in the past. But he's you.
But what DeLorean did we take? Wait, what?
If he thinks that you're his son, then you must look like his son, and his name is Calagon. So in the future, you have a son, and you name him after yourself, and he looks a lot like you, but you're gonna travel to the past, and you're gonna meet you and think you're your son,
If that...
and that's what happened to me
Being-
too.
Another
Probably my
cauliflower
father
thing?
that called me for the chains.
Cleave,
was
I
me,
think you are...
because I would recognize the chains. I've had them at that point for years.
Cleave, this is already complicated enough.
There's probably a future you and a future you there too. They're somewhere out there.
This is beautiful.
I think this dream
Some would
sparked
say-
a new imagination in Cleave.
Some would say it's stellar.
So should I take the power?
If this being is future you, I don't know how much I'd like to be involved.
He said he's the first of my kind. I'm not the first of my kind.
Well, if you named your son Calagon, you were the first of your name.
My kind, not my name.
Did you have an uncle, perhaps, named Calagon?
I never knew my uncle.
I never knew my own.
What a weird night, guys.
This is so weird, dude.
So weird.
We can't be serious for the life of us.
It's
like
so hard
82
to.
references per sentence.
It's so hard to be serious.
I thought for
It's
sure
such a
your whole
serious
fake
episode.
dream sequence was just gonna be a reference to like an old movie or something.
It kind of was.
Oh,
Not
it
old.
was-
it was an old series.
Like, well, it's a
Honestly,
series that's
it
more-
was
yeah.
beautiful.
That was so much.
All right, back to scene.
All right, we're back.
I don't even know where to go right now.
All right, well, to
What to
the
grab?
northern point of this rift. So, with that in mind, actually, are you guys going towards the northern point? Are you going towards the bridge? Are you going
The southern point of the ridge, right? The southern point of
the northern point of the ridge where you were told that he was last seen?
Yes.
Well, are we gonna start at the southern and work our way up to the northern?
Well, no, if
point
we
of it,
start,
or-
closer to
if
the
we start at the northern point, which is where we know he was last seen, perhaps we can investigate, see if we can find tracks that lead us to where he could be.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Luckily, as you guys now well know, being that you guys don't seem to run into any serious threats, you see a series of animals off in the distance throughout your trek. Different, like, smaller mammals primarily. Few worrying mounds here and there, but nothing that immediately comes and poses any sort of danger towards you all. But over time, you can start to see where the ridge starts to build up a little bit more. And after a few hours, by the time it's reaching night, we'll say, you guys start to see the lip of rock start to get closer and closer, where you can now, again, you yourself have actually seen technically secondhand, that this is the edge of this massive rift.
Here we are.
We finally made it. Now to find this gene.
That's why I dream of Genie. It's because I've had it on my mind that we're looking for him.
Yes.
Genie Canita.
What did Genie look like in your dream?
Well, I think I sort of merged him with the idea of a djinn. Like a genie, you know, so I just made him blue.
Did they describe to us what he
Tattooed.
looked like?
Oh no, they didn't describe to us what he looks like.
He should be responding to the name Gene. That's good enough for me. Are we gonna jump down this rift?
Well,
Are we
the
gonna-
architect is how he was known, yeah?
How
Jump down the rift.
far down is the rift?
Make a perception check.
I'm also looking down.
Where you had seen
Uniform.
previously that there are sands that kind of permanently fall in at certain points, on the north end here,
don't see.
it's hard ground, and so it's a pretty simple flat entryway into this just massive, endless-looking pit, if you will.
13.
13, and did you also roll?
He didn't
Eh.
see anything.
Nice.
Didn't see
Eh.
it. Negative.
Things are back to normal.
13 is good enough that you recognize that there seems to be a small amount of light towards the bottom of your vision, we'll say. It's not to
Any-
say necessarily it's the bottom of this, cliff, but it is very, very far below where you can just see a tiny amount of light.
Any footprints?
Nothing immediately, no.
Also, there's something at the bottom of this rift. There's a light. We can jump the rift. It would be a little bit hard to convince the Sandwalkers to jump with us, though.
Well, the rift itself is like a sea, practically. Like, the thing is massive, width-wise, from end to end, in most parts. You can see where it thins out for brief stretches. You saw that at the bridge, it does thin out significantly, hence why they built the bridge there. But otherwise, it's a pretty massive area, and it's just darkness all the way down from this point.
So we can jump towards the light.
Sure.
Sounds like suicide.
It's not suicide. I can make us go slowly. We jumped off a cliff before. This is
Yeah, it's
beginner's
kid stuff.
work. This is level 1 type stuff.
Didn't you say there's an entry we could just walk in?
Not on this point at all,
Okay.
no. No, the south side does slope up, but that's very far away.
Okay.
But I do think that maybe we start with the light that's down there. Now that light could be a campfire, could be Gene, could be goblins, could be orcs. Who knows? So we might want to consider, as we fall down, to pay close attention to what surrounds the light. And if it's something that could maybe cause us harm, then I could transform myself to look like one of them, I guess. As long as I can get a good visual of them, I can do it.
Let's go look.
I'm alright with that.
Let's do it. I suppose.
All right.
Walk
I'm gonna
towards
gear
the
up for
light.
once. I'm gonna pull out my fence sword and my fence club and my fence shield.
Okay.
And even with my new
Yikes.
sword, I pull my father's sword.
Nice.
Wow.
It is tough
And my
stuff.
shield.
It works just right now.
All right, do you
So we
think we
walk
can
towards the
convince the
light.
Sandwalkers to jump?
Probably not.
Well, we can't leave them here.
What do you suggest, Cleave? What do we do with the sandwalkers while we explore?
It's not sandy down there? Or is it cavernous like
Can't tell.
Like rock?
It's
Is it rock?
dark.
On the side? Is it rock on the,
Around
like, on
you
the
right now, like it's all rock, but obviously that feeds out to the sands again.
side? Right. No, so they wouldn't be able to just burrow down to meet us.
Was it good? Yeah.
Can't burrow through rock.
Yeah.
Ask and see if they know a good way to get in there.
The Sandwalkers.
They're from here.
We're standing on rock.
Oi, you ever
They are
you ever
called
seen
Sandwalkers.
this cavern? You ever seen this big hole in the ground?
No.
No.
This-
Yeah.
this- And you see that they're like not even willing to step too
Oh, shit.
close to it. They're just looking. No.
Can you dig really deep? Or no, not so deep.
I can dig.
You can dig. All right.
You ask them if they could stay here and wait for us.
Yeah. We are gonna go into that. So we'll be back. So you have to just stay around here and wait for us.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Is there anything we can tie them to?
Immediately, it is just kind of this stepped land. There are a few like larger rocks in the area that you might be able to kind of fashion around the base.
All right. Just for precaution, let's tie them to a rock. All right.
But if
Cleave?
something were to come by,
We can give them a lot of slack so they can still dig.
if something were to come by and try to attack them, then they have no way of running away.
What does it matter? If they run away, then we don't have them, and if they die, then they die.
I don't think
I
Cleave
look at
likes
Cleave.
that answer.
Let's. I'm gonna bring them over, and I am gonna tie them up to the rock, and I'm gonna ask them. All right, now dig deep until this gets tight, until you feel it pull on you.
Okay. And they just kind of okay.
I give them like a good
Just
like
watch as they just kind of go
25
over there
feet
and
of
start.
slack.
And you can see that like they just kind of shimmy their legs. They don't lay down quite like a camel where they tuck their legs under them all the time. But you see what when they dig, they just kind of put their like flattened base like hooves, if you will, and they just kind of shift them back and forth for a time as their entire body starts to shift downward.
Okay.
And they kind of press into the sand.
They just got their heads sticking out like the Rodrick plan.
Oh, they completely hide their heads already.
Oh, they're already under.
Yeah, what you see primarily is just like the tips of saddles sticking up above the sands.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kick some sand onto the saddles.
Yeah,
This is two
Alright,
little
A good
mounds.
finishing touch.
You blokes just stay right there. We'll see you soon.
The drop is like 90 degrees.
Yeah, it's vertical
Yeah.
from here.
Okay.
All right.
That's that.
Are you all ready?
Yes. Who should lead the way?
I think you should.
Yes,
You're
I
pretty
do
good
need to
at
get a
jumping
visual.
off ledges. Yeah.
Yes. And I am the one that can see best in the dark.
I cannot. So.
I see a little bit. You still got your flask of glow water?
Oh, we don't need it. Let's not cause attention to us.
I could do this.
I can see.
And I light up my sword again.
Well,
Nice.
Nice.
that's not bad.
It's been a while since I've done it.
Calagon, you jealous?
Nope.
No, sorry. Too soon? All right.
Rodrick.
Jealous of his powers? Is that what you're trying to say?
I turn it off.
All right. Who's ready to jump?
Tactful.
I am, I suppose.
Are you ready, Calagon?
All right, let's just go.
guess.
All right, I'll lead the way.
All right.
I'm ready for yous.
Nice. Elegant as ever. Guys. And in a feeling that you guys are all somewhat familiar with, having done so just recently for the first time ever, and then the second time ever, and then the third time ever, you guys just start dropping with your stomachs flying up into your heads. Now just full force, you just feel the wind, and then suddenly it slows as the light now starts to take a much more visible showing.
Can I see if there are any humanoids surrounding the light?
Oh, there are many.
Okay.
And you guys start falling down into what you can now see is a suspended goblin camp between the ends of this cave, where it seems to have pressed inward a little bit further. And within the light, you can see a series of torches, and you now hear a series of shouts as that light is immediately snuffed out. And you can see that what was a lot of light now has quickly been diminished, as these shouts from all over are clearly focusing their attention on the new invaders falling down from the skies.
Oh no.
And we'll pick up with that next week.
We are so dumb.
Yeah.
No way.
They always told
So
us never
good.
go towards the light, and I don't know why we didn't listen.
No way.
I gotta write some notes.
This
Yeah.
is
Alright.
There's so much I have to think about.
It's okay. I think I got this, guys.
Oh my goodness. Hey, we might save our first people though. Prisoners in here.
We saved.
Oh wow.
Save Rumgar.
Ooh,
Javi, pull up the map really quick.
we saved
Look
Rumgar.
at that.
So,
So you guys showed one
yeah,
person.
I guess.
Hopefully.
we can show them what we decided to willingly launch ourselves into.
Yeah, dive
Oh,
directly at no slow
man.
fall other than just like jump at it. I like it. It's a good approach, you know? It's very
So-
exciting, very Rodrick.
When we
Saying, like,
when we hit the ground, all the
epic.
lights turned out. Is what you're saying?
So they all diminished at the very least.
They literally
you can
just
see where everybody
snuffed them
started.
out. Can goblins see well in the
So
dark?
all we see is
You're about to find out.
Arlyn's
Sword.
sword.
It's off.
Oh, you turn it
Turn
off.
it off, yeah.
Okay. Is it like a clap thing? Or
No,
Oh.
I just.
Amazing.
So nobody can see hardly anything, and all you hear
It's
is
very,
Rodrick go,
very low
"Oh
light currently.
my god!"
No way.
Oh, man, that sounds like the greatest like episode close just to hear like a bunch of oh my It's like, black.
No.
So good.
Roll for initiative.
Alrighty.
Oh.
Honestly, we could definitely do that and speed things along, and I'm always excited. So yeah, why not? Let's end off on that high. Everybody, roll for initiative right now,
Oh man,
and
I
I'll
was
note it for next
kidding.
week.
Come on. 7.
10.
I didn't roll well in initiative with this character.
17.
Actually, I don't roll well.
Okay.
Here. Oh wait,
Well,
wait a
fitting,
minute. Wait a
fitting.
minute. I was dead wrong. I thought it was a 2.
It's
Let's
a
go.
20?
It's a 20. 21 total.
Wow. Okay.
10.
All right.
Good.
Sounds
you know, I always
good.
like to open with a lie, so this is good. I
What about Barry?
never get away with it when
Pretty
you guys start
appropriate
fighting
here.
first.
What about
Yeah,
Barry?
go ahead and roll for Barry separately.
Barry rolled a 9. Let me see what.
Well, I'm glad we left the Sandwalkers
You said
up
yours
there
was
now.
what, 7?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That is
Not bad, y'all.
rough.
Not bad.
right,
Well,
well.
this is going to be an exciting pickup with. Let me just. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Cleave
gonna do
up top
the
for the start of
craziest
next week.
superhero landing, looking like a freaking goblin.
Incredible. You guys will
No
have,
way.
I'll say, one action of prep time given the distance of this fall. So
Awesome.
keep that in mind. You guys have 1 week to plan accordingly for one action prior
Very good.
to where you guys pick up an
Oh
initiative.
man, but where
Oh, we
we're
got
landing,
Uh,
this.
it's not like we can.
With that,
Javelin throw.
we love you guys.
Maybe.
God bless you. See you next week.
Later.
Later.
Hey, what's up? This is Manny, and I play Arlyn in Divine Inspirations campaign, The Four Horsemen. Today, I wanted to encourage you guys because I feel like we live in a generation that a lot of times feels worthless or feels forgotten. Feel like life moves on so fast, and things are so expensive, and it just feels like we don't measure up sometimes. And I just know a lot of people that get really, really discouraged and just feel alone and like very undervalued. But I wanted to encourage you guys because God says in His Word that we were chosen specifically by Him to be a part of His family. And I have some verses here in Ephesians 1, 4, and 5. It says, "For He chose us in Him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in His sight. In love, He predestined us for adoption to sonship through Jesus Christ, in accordance with His pleasure and will." So you're chosen by the Creator of the universe. It doesn't matter what random people say, or it doesn't matter if the world around you feels maybe even more advanced or something in life than you are at the current moment. You have to just be confident that you know that you are God's son and daughter, and He's going to take care of it. And I have another one, 1 Peter 2, verse 9. It says, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His wonderful light." So my encouragement is, don't focus on those external things that sometimes it's even ourselves, right? Our own minds and our own brains that our thoughts tell us that we are worth nothing. And don't listen to those things, because God has promised through His Word that we are chosen specifically by the Creator of the universe, and He loves us, and He wants to be there for us as long as we just trust in Him. So hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you guys next week for the next episode of The Four Horsemen. And this is today's Divine Inspiration. See you guys.